But did you know that when it snowed, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can be seen? Hey everybody, how you doing? You know what? Let's talk about Cyberpunk.
My. This game, man, it's been put through the ringer, and yeah, rightfully so. You see, upon its release, it was met with tons of criticism, backlash, and was barely playable on any of the last-gen consoles. Fast forward a few weeks and a bunch of updates later, and well, it's getting closer to the okay territory, I would say, but still has a long way to go before it resembles the game we were all promised prior to its release. Currently, I've been playing it on my PS5, and although I've had a better experience than others, yeah, I'm still having issues. A fair share of glitches and random bugs here and there, but when the game crashes on me out of nowhere, that's beyond frustrating. But even with all the issues and controversies floating around Cyberpunk, I can't deny there's something about this game that is still managing to keep me engaged. Maybe it's the story, maybe it's the healthy amount of weapons and tech you collect along your journey, or maybe it's just the vast amount of quests made available to you as you venture throughout the city. Speaking of which, none of the side missions feels like an afterthought. They all seem to have been given the same care and attention similar to the main quest line itself, which is no doubt a pleasant surprise. Really, there are moments of greatness sprinkled about that does shine through and show the potential of Cyberpunk. I mean, the sights and sounds of Night City are amazing. The hustle and bustle of citizens as they stroll down a busy street cannot be ignored. And at every corner and every billboard you can find someone selling that ass.
Got something that'll keep you hard for hours.
Yep, selling ass all over the place. That ass. Even the stuff that's not necessarily game breaking, just sometimes annoying, has started to grow on me. Somewhat. You're calling me. You are calling me again. I'm not going to look for them. I'm not looking for your cars. I'm not looking for your cars, you robotic nut goblin. Go find someone else. Soulless wench. But now I find myself at a crossroads with Cyberpunk. I know there's DLC on the way, and there's still many more updates and patches that need to be added. And at some point, probably quite a ways from now, there will be a multiplayer version of the game released. Now, knowing all these things are coming down the pipeline, I wonder, is it worth sticking around for and waiting for these changes? And when these changes do come, will they really be worth the wait? There have been titles in the past who have had rocky starts upon release, only to bounce back stronger than ever, maybe like a year or two later. Two titles that come to mind that are perfect examples of this would be No Man's Sky and Fallout 76, especially No Man's Sky. The game that was presented at launch, it pales in comparison to what it is now. Side note, if you haven't played No Man's Sky, I highly recommend checking it out. It's pretty amazing to see what that game has become now. So yeah, somewhere in the back of my mind, I feel this will happen for Cyberpunk as well. And believe me, I'm rooting for it to reach that greatness we were all promised, because there's no denying there is a labor of love put into this title, but I fear that when it does reach that goal, it's going to just fall on deaf ears. Simply because when it comes to gaming, the landscape is always changing, popularity and hype always shifting, and really if there's nothing there to hold players' interest or keep them engaged, they just simply move on. Going back to No Man's Sky for a moment, I think what kept it on my radar after the initial hype and controversy died down was how quick they got their updates for the game out to players, with the first one coming around 3 months after the release of the game, and then you got this steady flow of DLC every couple of months or so all the way into 2020. And these weren't just quality of life fixes and changes. No, this was actual content that continue to build on the foundation of the core game itself. Now, I'm not sure if CD Projekt Red will be able to replicate that kind of content timeline, as they're also dealing with an issue No Man's Sky didn't really have much of, and that's the game-breaking glitches and bugs that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, before they can even start thinking about rolling out DLC, they have to address those problems first, and well, I have to say time is definitely not on their side. Players who have avoided playing the game up to this point due to the scathing reviews and backlash, well, that was a smart move, and honestly, you'll probably be better off waiting until the game is in a better state before jumping in. Plus, I'm sure there will be copies going for super cheap, so you'll ultimately be getting more bang for your buck. So yeah, I think the most logical thing I could do at this point is enjoy what's there, finish the game in its current state, and just put it on the back burner for the time being. Spend some time jumping into some other titles, but of course I'll keep a lookout for whatever comes next for Cyberpunk, and when the water's looking a bit more clean, a bit more appealing, I can see myself dipping my toes back into the world of Night City and immersing myself once more in all that ass. And there you have it, folks. Those are my thoughts and opinions on Cyberpunk 2077. And yeah, you know, somewhere down the line, if they go ahead and add some content and fix up these issues they're having, I can see myself revisiting Night City, of course. But what about you guys? Have you been playing the game? If so, have you been enjoying it? Or are you one of those people patiently waiting for the right time to dive right in like an eagle in the night? If so, drop some comments in the boxes below. And if you like what we got here and you want to see more, by all means hit a thumbs up and subscribe, as it will only help this channel grow into something magnificent. Until then, I'm Mike. This is Entertainment Junk, and we are out.